So, Iga and Kyoto. I lived in Iga for about 6 years, and then I lived in Kyoto. The rest of the time I was in Japan, but Iga is still considered home. So, if you see here, Nippon, Nippon, which is Nippon, which is just the Japanese way of writing Japan. So
Okay, we
Nippon.
got some Japanese things going on here today. Is there some other words you'd like to show the kids?
Sure. Let me go here. Uh, like I said before, here's Iga, Mie, which is the prefecture, like Texas, in Japan, in the area where I live, the circled area on the previous map. That's Mie, Japan. And also, you'll see over here to the side this word. Most people have heard of this word, ninja. Ninja uh, were from Iga originally. They were born, the movement was born in Iga out of necessity. It's a valley between mountains, and they were rural farming people who wanted to protect their area. So
Like shoguns and communists who were fighting each other?
that's right. That's right. So out of necessity, the villagers created the art of ninja over a period of decades. And actually, if you go to Iga, there is a ninja museum, which is very fun and interesting. So, moving along with the language, you'll see here I've written judo, aikido, karate do. So the reason I I underlined the parts of the words is to emphasize the break in the phonetics of the language. In English, judo is Judo, 4 letters, but in Japanese, it's actually 2 letters or 2 characters. Judo, that's 2 words. Aikido is another form of martial art. Aikido, instead of 6 letters, is actually 3 characters. Aikido. The do that you see in both of these, and then in karate, karate do, do means the way of or the art of. So Aikido, the ki here, is the same as chi in Tai Chi, which is Chinese, and it means spiritual energy. Uh, karate do, everyone's heard of karate. Here people say karate, but it's actually karate. Kara, which you can also see here, kara means empty. Te means hand. So if, again, do, which means the way of, in karate do, it is the way of the empty hand or the art of the empty hand. So rather than using a weapon, a knife, a sword, a stick, a gun, uh, karate is the most uh, basic form of uh, fighting because the hand itself, the empty hand, the karate, is a lethal weapon itself. So then moving from that, you can see kara, the same kara from karate, in this word, karaoke. And here many people say karaoke, but karaoke is empty orchestra, which is orchestra. It's a Japanese way of shortening or reducing an English word. So orchestra becomes oke, which is basically a music box. There's music coming out of it, but it's empty. There's no orchestra. There's no people playing music or instruments. And that was in the Japanese way of creative thinking and playing with words and conceptualizing. Someone in the I think the 1950s or 1960s came up with the idea of karaoke, which here, because those that pronunciation is not familiar to us, it's kind of become karaoke. And if you go from here, karate, you can see here, te, it's the same hand, tegami. Here I have the word kami. Here is origami. The word kami here just means paper. So tegami means hand paper. And if you think about what that means, hand paper, it's a letter. It basically means a letter. If you're going to write a letter to someone, you're going to write a tegami. If you're going to write a note for another teacher, you're going to write a tegami, which is a hand paper. And then you know probably this origami. The verb oru means to fold, so origami means basically folded paper. And I'm sure everyone here is familiar with origami in art class or at festivals or culture activities. So that's a little bit, it's kind of fun to look at the language and see how, for example, for us, a letter, letter, is just a bunch of letters put together to form a word. But in Japanese, it has actually, the characters have a meaning. Tegami. Origami, for us, it's origami, and it's just this thing that you do with paper. Well, in Japanese, the characters actually have a meaning, folded paper. So that's an easy way or a fun way to learn the language when you're first learning. And
Thank you, Ray. That's a good way for us to start. We'll be back with another part. This will be our part two, right after we get some more words and some more language, and we'll explain the different types of handwriting and why it's written that way in